Good morning everyone. Today I would like to introduce the topic trigonometry here. So first thing that I want to tell you here, what is the main application of this chapter, right? So the thought process will come like, why we have to study this chapter. So first I want to give the information about this application of the topic, and then I will go into introduction of the topic. Okay. So the main application of this trigonometry is mainly in the engineering stream you are having. So for example, if you are having some specific conditions, for example, if you are having a pole here, and let us say you are having a tower here, at how much angle I have to see this so that I can be able to see the top of the tower, what should be the inclination from here, so how much the pole has to be placed, that means how far the pole has to be placed from the tower, so that from the top of the pole I can be able to see the tower. So for these type of general real time applications, we are going to use the topic trigonometry here. Now this is one of the applications. Mainly in the engineering stream you can find the applications of the trigonometry more. And let us go into the introduction of the topic now. So if you just observe, this is a combination of two words, that is a trigon, and one more is a metric here. So trigon in the sense it's a triangle, and metric in the sense it's a measurement. So this is giving us the information that trigonometry is completely dealing with the triangle and its measurements. So we know that for any triangle we are having angles, sides, based on which you are having 6 types of triangles, that equilateral, isosceles, scalene, right angle triangle, acute, obtuse, like that and all. So out of those 6 possibilities that we are having for the triangle, which triangle we are going to consider here? The one triangle that I am going to consider here is the right angled triangle. The question comes here, why we have to choose only a right angle triangle? Why can't it be any other triangle, right? So why we are choosing only right angle triangle? Because of the advantage that it is having of Pythagoras theorem. Because if you know any two sides, you can be able to find the third side using the Pythagorean triplet. We know that hypotenuse square equal to side square plus side square and all. So for this advantage only we are going to make use of the right angle triangle for the concept trigonometry here. Now the doubt comes here is another thing, if I consider any equilateral triangle will have all sides are equal, then why can't we consider this triangle? If you know one side, you can find the other 3 sides also. So the point here is there is no difference among the sides here. So as I told you in the application here, the pole and the tower, if you consider, there is a difference in the sides of the triangle that it is forming. So if I have a pole and like this, then in this triangle, upper triangle, you are having the difference in the sides here. So there should be some sort of difference in the sides, then only there is a possibility of change in the angle. We know that in case of an equilateral triangle, all the angles are also equal, right? So that is the reason why we are not using the equilateral triangle for the trigonometry concept. So here, as when I say that trigonometry is the making use of the triangle measurement, means its angle and the side. So that means trigonometry helps you to figure out the relation between angles and the sides. So let us say for this triangle, if it is ABC, this is placed at a 90. The two rays, if they intersect, it will form an angle. So that's why I am naming it as a theta. So now how you are going to relate the sides and the angles here? For that sake, they defined 6 trigonometric functions. So what I mean by function here is, if you are giving one particular input, corresponding to that what is the output that you are getting, that machine is called as a function. So that means if I can make it more simple, you learn the chapter polynomials, right? In that polynomials, if I have an f of x is equal to something like x cube minus 3x, let us say. For this, if I give you x is equal to 1, you are getting answer as a minus 2, right? So what you did here, this is my function, that means this is my machine for which you are giving 1 as an input and you are getting -2 as the output. That is called as a function. So for that sake they define 6 trigonometric functions in which sine and cos are the main trigonometric functions. Others are just the derivatives of the sine and cos. Okay. Now the question comes here is how we are going to define these trigonometric functions. Okay. For that sake I am going to give you a simple example. Let us say that I bought a speaker with 1000 rupees. Okay. And if I bought a speaker with 1000 rupees, if I just give you this statement and if I ask you, tell me whether I spend more money or less money, we don't have any answer. Correct? Instead of that, if I say that I spent 50% of my money and I spent 10% of my money. If you just see these percentages, or if I have only the first case, 50%, let us say. If I say that I spent 50% of my money on the speaker, in this particular case, you will have a clue that, okay, he spent lot of money on that, right? So the point you have to understand here, the trigonometric functions that what you are having are just a percentages. Why I am saying it as a percentages, I will just expand this one, then you can understand in a better way. Let us say if I am having 2000 rupees and I spent 1000 rupees on the speaker, my percentage is 50%. If I have a 10,000 rupees with me and I spend 1000 rupees, my amount that I spent on the speaker is 10%. So here in these two cases, though it is 1000, but still you will feel like in the case 1 I spent lot of money, because the total amount, the largest amount that available with me is only 2000. But in this case, though I spent 1000 here, still you will feel like I spent less amount because my highest amount is 10,000 here. So that is why if you have a percentages information, you can be able to figure out whether it is largest or the smallest and all, right? So that is why I am calling the trigonometric functions are as the percentage values. So they define the sine trigonometric function as percentage of the opposite side. So when I ask you 30%, what is the value? You will say it as a 30 by 100. How you are saying it as a 30 by 100? Because 100 is the largest and out of that 30 is the portion that you are taking. Similarly, when I say it as a percentage of opposite, that means sine is equal to 5, because from here I am saying theta is equal to opposite by percentage of opposite, and the largest available here is 13, that's why 5 by 13. Now the question comes here is, if I see from this particular point, my opposite side will become 12 and it is 13. So that means what is this angle represents here? It is indicating that a particular person is standing at this vertex and observing the triangle. When I see from this particular point B, my opposite side will become AC and hypotenuse will be this one, and this is nothing but the adjacent side. Similarly, let us say if I am having x degrees here, when I am observing the triangle from the C point, my opposite side will become 12 and the hypotenuse will become 13. So that means sine is giving you two values, but there is a variation in the angle, which means that if you try to change the angle, your answer will be changing. That means the definition of sine is percentage of opposite side is common, but whether you will get a different answer or not, that depends on the angle. That means every trigonometric function should be associated with an angle, because of which you can see the change in answers. Similarly, cos they had defined as percentage of an adjacent side. Again, if I just observe from the theta angle, that means from this B vertex, if I am standing here, my adjacent side is 12, so 12 by 13. But if I observe from here, C vertex cos x, my adjacent side will become 5 by 13. And the tan theta or tan trigonometric function is just a combination of a sine and cos here. If it is theta, then it is sin theta by cos theta. If it is x, then it is sin x by cos x. So the important point that you have to understand here is every trigonometric functions are just the percentages. You should know what is the highest value among all the three sides. And another thing is every trigonometric function should be associated with an angle. Okay, that is the basic information. And we have still three more trigonometric functions, that is cosecant theta, secant theta and cot theta. These are nothing but just reciprocals of these respective trigonometric functions. So cosecant is reciprocal of sine, secant is reciprocal of cos, cot is reciprocal of tan trigonometric function. So the important point here is trigonometric functions should be associated with an angle, because based on the angle only you will come to know from where you are seeing and what will be your opposite and adjacent sides. Okay, hopefully you are clear with this. In the next class we will see extension of these properties that are associated with these trigonometric functions. Thank you for this opportunity.